Conclusion: Bayonetta is a must-buy for any action gaming fans. It's fast, intense and ridiculous, all with an entertaining story and a protagonist that is forever subverting and playing with her audience. It's pure platinum games, too, which means it'll likely be adored by its converts and ignored by too many. We hope that won't happen, as what we have here is one of the Wii U's best games, and a rare arrival on a system that's unashamedly violent, gory and mature, while still mischievously winking at the watching world. Bayonetta 2 is brilliant, brash and impossible to ignore. Spellbinding and brutal, the Wii U library is small, but also diverse and exciting. Bayonetta 2 from Platinum Games arrives as a system exclusive to forge its own brilliantly destructive path. Its arrival with a port of the original Bayonetta gives Nintendo gamers an opportunity to dive into this developing franchise in full, and also illustrates the subtle but tangible improvements that ensure improvement in the new entry. This is the release that action fans have been waiting for on Wii U. Through this new release, Platinum Games moves forward with the storytelling groundwork of the original, as Bayonetta's friendship with Jean kicks off proceedings, with recurring characters such as Rodin also thrown in. In typical style, the storyline gets into its stride particularly quickly. The introduction of Loki sets the agenda for the plot, along with the initially mysterious masked Lumen, and despite the finer points perhaps being easy to miss, the storytelling is, like its predecessors, put together well. Bayonetta herself comes with a redesign, as does Jean, though remains the same powerful, flirty and mischievous figure. This is still a game that can be cringe-inducing at times in its portrayal of our hero, though it's dialed back a tiny amount in the sequel. There's still a semi-naked body with special moves comprised of hair and plenty of suggestive dialogue, camera shots and brutal torture moves. That's simply what you sign up for with this game, and male fantasy accusations aside, our witch is a dominant character that takes nonsense from no man or woman at any point. She keeps Loki et al. Under her spell, showing strong characteristics, and driving the entire plot through her presence. For those concerned about such things, that's our take. That bombast and devil-may-care attitude is typical of this IP and its developer, and it must be said perfectly suits the genre of which it's a shining example. Action combat titles aren't as common in this 3D era as they perhaps were in bygone times, but Bayonetta 2 stands as a fine modern example of how to bring the best out of the genre. At a basic level, you string together combos with a mix of two core attacks, hands and feet, to produce stronger moves and obliterate all comers. There's plenty of complexity besides, however, as you put most of the gamepad or Pro Controller inputs to work. With a useful comparison point of the first title, the combat here feels tighter and more immediate. Certainly a good deal more instinctive and accessible. Witch time, in which you slow time with a well-timed dodge, remains as a key mechanic and main opportunity for putting together stronger combos, and seems easier to initiate this time out. It's a subtle tweak, but even in higher difficulties, that action feels fairer in this sequel, assisted by clearer enemy attacks and patterns. To be clear, this isn't dumbed down, but better. Attacks flow with a tangible fluidity, and even though you'll be attacking and dodging with lightning-fast button presses, you should always